Nice.
All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It's good to be here. Sorry we weren't here last weekend. Had some things going on, and we are back, and it's good to be here. Probably not going to be talking a whole lot myself. A little under the weather, but I'm going to throw it over to Alan to get us started off right.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which she stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Thank you all for popping in. We're just getting started here, and it sounds like the Scotsman is just so energetic today. I kind of feel the same way, but we're going to go ahead and do this thing anyway. So go ahead and introduce the panel here after we read what YouTube supposedly says are the people out in the side chat. I never believed this thing because the first one on there is the YouTube auditor, and they can eat a bowl of dicks. But Burnaby Sanchez is out there. That's great. Bradley, good to see you. G23, George Washington, Keith Gregory, George Washington. That might be one of Jamie's former bosses. Lead Bullet Junkie, Mark Thomas, Tom S., Walter Davis. Yeah, this thing is just not indicating everybody that's out there. I guarantee it. But let's go ahead and say hi to the pen that stands in front of all the other pens. Good evening, Kingpin.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for joining us.
Very good. Short, sweet. The one with the short beard, the professional amateur.
Why are you picking on my beard? Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me here. And hopefully we'll have a great show for you. I sure as I'm working on my COVID medicine.
So, you want to tell everyone your excuse for not growing your beard like you were telling us before we started?
When I grow it bigger and like longer, the gray hairs just pop out just like at Allen's, and it doesn't look right.
I notice every week that my beard is getting grayer and grayer by the week. I'm almost thinking that it's going to be white by the time Christmas happens. I do notice that as I age, I'm looking more and more like Santa. Santa is not Irish. With that said, Jamie, JH586, good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? Thank y'all for having me, and I appreciate being here. And I always look forward to spending time with you guys and all the nice folks that come in and populate the side chat and keep us on our toes and keep us busy.
And the gray, and I explained this to Daniel the other day, the gray is the wisdom showing. It's coming through on the surface. So apparently you're not that wise.
It's little tidbits of wisdom here and there. Yes, Alan Claus, Sergeant Major Bulldog there. Annalie Brown, the Colonel, is also out there looking to get in the chat. Yeah. Yeah, getting people popping in. Mark Thomas and Hoser.
I'll step out here. Colonel, welcome, buddy. I don't know who you are.
We still got an empty hole.
And
I would suspect that Daniel is cleaning the guts out of a deer somewhere.
probably.
I could be wrong.
Well,
Yeah, you're probably wrong. I seen Daniel shoot.
Oof.
well, deer season ended yesterday, so potentially he could be. The wife was out yesterday instead of me, so
Midas, not quite. I mean, if I had the whole head scarf going on, that might be something. But thanks.
There's Miss Kitty.
We'll just go ahead and roll the ball here and put the link out in the chat. Whoever jumps in first, I guess, may be on board this evening.
But if you ain't got nothing to say, don't bother, because we got 5 guys in here already that don't know what to say.
And Midas is out there. How you doing, Midas? How's your health? Hope you're doing good.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
see, I'm Scottish. What's going on in here? How come there's all this Scots theme going on here?
Oh well, it's part of the whole premise of the show. It's foreign and domestic.
Okay, Alan B Pro, is that a machine gun you have in the wall there?
No. That right there is just a pistol.
It looks quite big for a pistol. Can I see it? Can you give us a close up? We don't have guns here, so I'm quite interested in it.
I can't really give you a close up, and I can't handle it per YouTube.
Oh right, okay, you get banned if you have guns.
Yep.
What kind of gun is that? What kind of gun is that?
Oh, it's a AR pistol chambered in 5.56.
All right.
The 7.5-inch barrel, and
I'm just glad there's somebody else with a weird accent. I don't feel alone anymore.
You sound like you're from New York.
I am from New York.
New York. Hey, I'm walking here.
Look at the Scotsman.
That's what they say, isn't it?
Perfect.
New Yorkers are always kind of seen as angry.
That's not true.
But yeah, they're a lot more vocal than other people in America.
Just don't call him a Russian.
Exactly.
Oh, Russia. Yeah, we're about to go toe to toe with Russia, aren't we? We're about to fight the Russians.
Can we get subtitles?
Oh, can't you understand me?
I'm just busting your chops.
Well, you are the guys that are in the Scottish chat room.
This is not a Scottish chat room. This is foreign and domestic.
Well,
Scotsman is now a U.S. citizen.
Scotsman is not a Scotsman.
Born and raised in Scotland.
So he's living the dream.
something like that.
So how did you manage to get like over there? Because it's tough, is it not? You must have married someone.
No, it's a lot of paperwork, man. A lot of paperwork.
All right. See, I'd love to move to America, but I can't because I tried before, and like you need like a sponsorship. No, you need like a company.
No, you don't. You don't need any of that. All you have to do is come through Mexico. They'll let you right in. They'll give you money, health insurance, everything.
I'll try that the next time. Yeah, but I know, honestly, I thought you had to now get married to be able to even make it to go over there.
Nah, that's you can do it with all of that. There's just a lot of paperwork involved. Took me a long time, man.
Okay. So when it's called foreign and domestic, is that like terrorists or something? Is that like the sum of all fears, if you know what I mean? Patriots, that's the word they're looking for, patriots.
Yes, something like that. Something along those lines.
The two guys at the top, they look like patriots. You know, they look like American.
So what time is it in Scotland? What is it, like 11 o'clock?
12 minutes past 12.
Okay.
Getting on a bit late.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Brian.
Go for it.
First of all, thanks for being here. What do you do for fun? What kind of hobbies do you have?
I go paragliding. Do you got paragliding, Dennis?
Nope.
I know what it is, but I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I do that. It's very dependent on the weather, though, here in Scotland. So I'm usually up the hills. Either up the hills or paragliding. That's the two things I do. What about you, GH? What do you do for fun?
Hunt deer, shoot, develop loads, cast bullets, powder coat them.
Cool.
I play trombone in my church orchestra. I teach a Sunday school class. Ride motorcycles.
That's pretty cool. That's a lot of things to keep you busy.
Yeah, man, I don't have time to breathe. So something's going to have to kind of take a back seat. Okay, Mario's here. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hey.
Hey.
Is that paragliding an expensive hobby?
Is what an expensive hobby? Paragliding?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, my wing cost about £2,000, and the harness, it was cheaper. It was about £300.
It's only expensive if you crash.
Yeah, but there's more accidents crossing the road than there is paragliding. Cool. You're all in there like stunned cats. Is it always like this in here?
Is it more expensive than a Harley?
No. No, not at all.
2,000 pounds. How much is it in dollars?
Right, let me Google that.
Usually it's about double, but with the way the dollar is right now, it's probably not that. Hang on, I'll look it up.
How'd you get into that? Is that something you've been doing for a long time, or is that something you just got into?
No, there's one of the clubs is near me, so you.
Holy shit! 2,000 pounds sterling equals to 2,646 United States dollars.
Yeah,
Man, I got guns that cost more than that.
Yeah, so it's free. Well, once you've paid that money, right? You've got your wing, you've got your harness. That's you. You don't need to pay any more money. You just walk up the hill and then lie down.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you next. Do you got to get permission to jump off a certain, or can you just go find a public hill somewhere and just go flying around? Like, what's the regulations?
Well, you have to inform the local airport that you'll be flying. In case
but isn't Scotland small? Don't you have a problem? You jump off the high enough hill, you're gonna wind up in Europe?
No, no, not at all.
So, how long you been doing this? My buddy Chico wants to know. How long have you been paragliding?
About 6 years.
Long time.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try the paragliding right after I go skydiving. Right after that.
So what made you decide you wanted to run and jump and glide around instead of keeping your feet on the ground?
It looked exciting. You've got to do something around here.
Yeah, we got guns for that.
Do you
guns will get you put in the jail here.
Do you look for more distance, or do you look for height, or how does that work?
No, you just get in Scotland, because of the weather, there's not that many thermals, so you mostly just get a top to bottom. So you'll probably get a 20-minute flight. Whereas if you went to somewhere like India, where the weather's a lot warmer, you can fly for hours. So
you ever video yourself flying?
No.
It might be something to think about. Get a GoPro or something. Put it on the wing.
I have got a GoPro, but I don't. You have to keep control of the risers. I've seen people put them on selfie sticks and stuff like that, but I don't think I've got the confidence to let go of the risers. Well, because you've got to control it, unless you stick a GoPro on like a helmet mount or something like that.
Do you make YouTube videos, or do you just have a YouTube account for the watch videos and chat and stuff?
I know I just have a YouTube account to chat.
Get you a GoPro and film it gliding down, man. That stuff will go viral, dude.
Yeah, I do have a GoPro, but I don't like them. I think, like I've got a GoPro, I've got a GoPro Hero 9, and I think they've put too much technology into such a small space, right? Because they say it's like a 4K action cam, right? But I'll tell you, with this GoPro that I've got, you can't film in 4K for any more than 10 minutes, or it overheats and then shuts down. GoPros they're a total sham. You can film in 1080p, no problem, but as soon as you put it to 4K, it just overheats.
So
you can hardly touch it.
I'm sorry, Mario. It's 18 minutes after midnight there. Am I right, Brian?
Yeah, they're 5 hours ahead.
Yeah, it's 5 hours difference.
Yeah, because my family in Slovakia, they're 6 hours ahead. Hey, we got another Scottish guy over here. A celebrity.
Yeah, that one takes care of his beard.
You have to recognize this guy.
That's it, Kenny Rogers.
Yes,
you're right on. You're right on.
No, I don't know, but he's got a big, massive. He's got a gun as well. I can see a gun up there on is it a rifle, that one?
Yeah, it's the first time I've heard Kenny Rogers. How you doing, guys?
Good. How's it going, brother?
I'm going to leave. Right? It's been nice talking to you guys, but I've got things to do tomorrow. I need my bed.
Have a good night, man. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. I'll see you all later. Bye.
Take it easy, man.
Damn, I forgot to ask him if it's true they drink beer warm over there.
Yes, we do. Literally, you can. Yeah, we don't drink out of freaking frozen glasses.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just ask him?
Well, he's been here so long, he don't remember.
When I first came here and I walk into the bar and the girl tries to give me a frosted glass, I look at her like she's freaking crazy, and she looks at me like I'm freaking crazy because I asked for a non-frosted glass. Yeah. Yeah, we like ours room temperature, Mario. Room temperature.
Now, the only thing good at the room temperature is a bourbon. Thanks to Jamie, that's what I switched in the last, year and a half, 2 years. Before, it was always cold.
This man used to freeze his liquor, or attempt to freeze his bourbon. So.
Yep, and Jamie opened my eyes.
Yeah, well, it of course it doesn't freeze, but it does actually take quite a bit of the flavor out of it.
Yep.
I used to do the same exact thing, and Jamie educated my ass. And yeah, it absolutely will take a lot of the flavor out of freezing a good liquor.
Yeah, so long story short, my wife wanted me to quit drinking. She went to a fundraiser last night, came home with the 4 different flavor bottles of bourbon that she won at the fundraiser. That's what she was bidding on.
Well, that's one way to make you quit.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. My daddy didn't raise no quitter.
Yeah, that's Anna Lee Brown vodka. You ain't gonna hurt nothing. It's just a neutral spirit anyway. But
so what's happening, Kenny?
Mr. Rogers, how's things been? Put any good tunes together lately?
No, it's been slow lately. I have my kind of music just isn't the hip stuff anymore.
That's
Nah,
a
it's
country song, ain't it?
It should be.
I think it is.
Is it?
Hey, rinsing the bolts. What's happening, buddy? No, Bulldog, it's a different Mr. Rogers, not that dude.
Won't you be my neighbor?
Not when you say it like that, buddy. I'm reporting your ass. You are too fun. Okay, kind of quiet in here. What kind of Christmas shopping are you doing? What do you want for Christmas? What are you buying your wife or your significant other? What's going on, guys?
Well, I'm locking my wife and kids in the basement because Christmas is supposed to be a peaceful holiday.
Oof.
That's a good way to go about it.
I did some shopping yesterday. Got my girlfriend a full day. The place said it was going to be a full day, like spa treatment thing. That shit's expensive. But it's something she wanted. And then when I told her I wanted PBS 14, she looked them up and said, hell no.
Hey, you tried.
Yeah.
You tried.
Kenny, East Texas outlaw, the answer to that question is you better know it, buddy. You better know it. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to order my girlfriend a necklace for Christmas, and they must really be having a hard time. You know, shipping these days right now is having problems all across the world because I ended up receiving 2 boxes of primers instead. So yeah, I don't know what happened with that order, but I guess she's going to get 2 boxes of primers.
I'm sure she'll be happy with it and like it, or she'll just lump it.
Nice Lakeview. Yeah, you're hoping she's going to give them to you, right?
Well, I'm certainly hoping that she regifts them to me. Yes.
Just wait till she starts reloading and starts making fun of you because she has more ammo than you.
No, just that her shoots better than his. There's Willie Bullet, man. So my wife
the very first time that my brother took my first wife out, or was it my third? Might have been my first wife out that to go shooting. She had just come back from a job interview. She's wearing her office clothes and pumps and everything else. And, you know, he was just getting done doing something that Matt never does, cleaning all his guns. And they're like, oh, let's go out target shooting. And I go out and I set up all these different targets, and he loads up this pistol and hands it to her, and she hits everything that she was going for. And my brother's like, hey, give me that back. She's like, whoa, what's, did I do something wrong? He's like, yeah, you could shoot this thing better than I can. He never let her shoot his guns again.
So that brings up an interesting question. Hey, Mr. Rogers, did you ever figure out your problem with your AR?
I haven't narrowed down. No, I haven't done anything else with it. I mean, it's obviously in the bolt carrier group or the bolt carrier group itself. I'm just going to get a new bolt carrier group. I'm not going to go through and buy an ejector spring and then go back out and spend 30 cents a round or 40 cents a round testing it again, just on the chance that it works, just to tear it back apart and to put different things in it, just to find out that the fucking carrier or something has worn out a spec or something like that. I'm just buying a new fucking bolt carrier group, and be done with it.
I got 3 of them sitting in the cabinet.
Awesome. I don't.
I can send you one.
I mean, there's a lot of big names out there that make bull carrier groups. Has anybody really found that a superior name bulk carrier
Yes.
is all that much better than, say, like a Palmetto State?
Yes. Yes. Objectively, yes.
Like, be specific.
Like, for instance, that Sharps, like in that video that I'm sure Scotsman is talking about, that Sharps bolt carrier group, it's DLC coded. It's got cuts in it for balance, and the face of the bolt, instead of squared off face, all the bolt lugs are beveled back for easier, better locking, going into place better. It 1000%, even dry, just putting it in the gun and just racking the action, it feels like it's oiled. That DLC coating is fantastic.
Okay, but is it
objectively? Yes.
But that's just the coating. Now, if you take 1,000 rounds, take a $50 PSA bolt carrier group and a $200 DLC coating, whatever Sharps, is it gonna make actual difference?
Okay, I have that exact example. The Sharps replaced the Palmetto State Armory bolt carrier group in my 10.5 because after, I don't know, 3,000, 4,000 rounds, it looked like it had 15 or 20,000 rounds on it. The grooving in the cam pin was, ridiculously deep, and the wear marks down the sides were pretty horrible. And it got to the point where I said, I need to replace this thing. I don't even feel safe shooting this thing at this point because everything around the bolt and the cam pin was wearing out so badly that I figured it was going to either grenade itself or at least just stop working whenever I needed it. So again, objectively, yes, because now the Sharps bolt carrier group has, I don't know, at least 3 times the amount of rounds on it. Does it have some wear? Of course it has some wear. But it's got another 20,000 rounds left in it, I guarantee it.
So in other words, the fancy bolt carrier groups are for lazy people like you that don't want to clean their guns.
Yes.
As long as you clean your gun and maintain it regularly, you're good with the PSA.
Well, as long as you don't shoot your guns, you're fine with your PSA. Exactly right.
But you're right. Some of these coatings that they put on are damn good coatings, and they will run and run and run and run.
And some are made of better materials. It's just a fact that some materials wear less than other materials. And you add the coating on top of it, and you can buy absolutely a far superior bolt carrier group to like a mil spec $60 PSA one. I'm not picking on PSA here. I just any mil spec, baseline bolt carrier group.
When you guys are talking about like round count, just out of any gun, any gun at all, period. You say 20,000 rounds and you need to change the barrel on your Glock 19. Is that 20,000 rounds total, even if you shot 2 rounds a day and however long, or 5 rounds a week, 10 rounds a week until you got to that number? Or is that talking about like going to the range and bang, bang, bang and putting the gun into work?
I would say I don't have an answer for that question as far as the lifespan of say a Glock barrel or an AR barrel or a bolt carrier group or anything like that. I don't have that answer. What I do know, and I'm sure you know and everybody else knows, that heat plays a part in it. So if you're constantly going to classes where you're shooting 1,000 rounds a weekend, then that extra heat into your material, into that steel, is going to play a part in the wear and tear and lifespan and longevity of that thing, versus the guy who spends a lifetime shooting the same amount of ammo, but it takes him 20 or 30 years to do it.
Yeah,
That's what I
If you're
thought.
you're definitely putting a lot of rounds down range. It's going to make a big difference.
I don't think any of us is putting too many rounds down range right now.
I shot 500 today.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Well, you're the exception to the rule.
Yep.
I lost my range, so
I've gone down a little bit. I shoot between, it used to be around 10,000. I shoot between 12 and 17,000 a year now, 12, 15. But last 2 years has probably been down to about 8.
I went down a lot. I used to shoot 20,000 rounds a year. I don't think I shot 5,000 last year, and that's including all the matches. Ever since I lost the range, it's just not the same.
I shoot Red October. I shoot mostly steel casing, so that helps with the. Of course, I'm not shooting competitions and stuff like that. So I mean, somebody who's shooting competitions is probably shooting a little bit different, guns and blah blah blah, or I mean ammo. But I shoot primarily steel case ammo in all my guns, so that helps with the cost of it.
I'm surprised with shooting that much that you never got into reloading.
I used to. I got rid of it all.
I mean, I can see that back in the day when you were picking up the freaking 1,000 rounds of steel case for $200. Yeah, it definitely is not worth the reload. Picking up the brass, cleaning, and all the bullshit is definitely not worth it, But nowadays, well, actually nowadays you can't find the components, so it don't freaking matter.
Which really doesn't. It doesn't not make sense, because if you're spending a lot of time shooting competition, and you're traveling, and you're doing your regular everyday 9 to 5 job, and then you're hanging out with your wife and your kids, and then you got to go to this state or this state or this state or this count, it makes sense to just stop, order your rounds, throw them in the trunk, and take them with you. Because then when you get home, how much time do you really have to sit down and reload if you're constantly on the move?
Yeah.
Well, once you have everything set up, it doesn't take that long. For example, pistol ammo. Once you get everything set up and you do have a component, I mean, I can literally go out there and in an hour crank up enough freaking rounds for the next 2 or 3 matches. So that's really, that's really not bad. I mean, you can always find the time. But some people, let's say you make X amount of money, so for you it's not worth it because you're better off working 2 hours overtime and pays for all the ammo you shoot that month. So from the competition guys, it's more about customizing your
I got
ammo.
rid of my reloading. I got rid of my reloading stuff back in like 2001 or 2002.
Yeah, that's way before my time. I didn't really get my pistol permit till 2014, 12, 14.
How's it going, Daniel?
Oh, going pretty good, man. The work had to get done, Sat out tonight with the wife. She had a good hunt. We've seen probably about somewhere between 12 and 16 deer. And she got one tonight.
Good buck or freezer meat?
Oh, nice young tender freezer meat. I shot the freezer meat on Tuesday. So we got our meat situation taken care of.
I got to get me a couple. I went yesterday morning. Of course, it was warm here. and I only saw one deer, and that was at about 250 yards for about 4 seconds. So
Oh,
obviously, I didn't get a shot at him. So her, whatever it was, you know.
yeah, no sense of trying to take a shot that far out.
Well,
Tuesday, I shot a doe. It was probably about 50 yards. And the deer the wife took tonight, it was about 30 yards. So, needless to say, both of them were through the heart.
yeah. What's up, Richard?
Not too bad. How are you? Nice
Good.
to see you. It's nice to see you all.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
And
Our
cooking.
Walmart had 2 boxes of 30-06, and you can't even use that for hunting here.
Why can you use a 30-06 for hunting?
Straight walled cartridges, shotgun, muzzleloader, or pistol only in Ohio.
That's I mean, my county is a shotguns only.
So,
That's
Richard,
surprising.
I don't know if I've ever met him before. Hi.
No, I've been on the show. I've been on the show before, but not in the chat. Just in the chat, not actually on the video. Nice to be here.
Okay. All
Who
right.
did we lose?
Kingpin.
Yeah, Richard,
Oh.
seen you in the chat numerous times.
Yeah.
See you on a regular, man. How are you
Yeah.
doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm good. Yeah, I've been on a couple of other people's chats before, but not on this one. I've just been in the chat. I found Scotsman through Hank when Scotsman came on Hank's show, and then ever since then I've been on here in the chat, just listening away. You have good chats normally, you know, nothing bad. All good. I don't know what part of Scotland that guy was in, but he was on about no guns. You can have plenty of guns here. You know, you only got to pass a background check, same as the States. I don't know. Some people just have got this phobia of like they think there's no guns over here, and you know we've got 4 or 5 million guns in public ownership. Yeah.
So you from Scotland also?
No, I'm down in the New Forest. It's in the south of England, just above the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, you can tell he's no Scottish. His accent's completely different.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble hearing him. Really?
Oh, sorry. Hang on, I'll get a bit closer. My mic is built into the headphones, so I am thinking about changing to one where I've actually got a microphone in front of me. Yeah.
So one more time, where are you from?
New Forest. It's in the
Okay.
south. Yeah, it's in the south. If you go to a map of the UK, the Isle of Wight, take the left-hand corner of the Isle of Wight and go straight up from there across the sea, and you'll see like the New Forest is quite a large area.
Yeah, that doesn't ring a bell.
No, I live in the middle of there.
I mean, I've been to London, nothing to brag about.
Yeah, no, I'm about a 3-hour drive from London. The nearest biggest town would be, say, Bournemouth, or I'm only like an hour away from Salisbury, where like Salisbury Cathedral, and then Stonehenge. So I'm only like an hour away from there. Like, you must know of Stonehenge. Most Americans do.
So, if I can say something, Richard, pleased to meet you. But listen, guys, I need to sign off here. I need to let Scotsman back in, and also my wife is getting ready for surgery in the morning, and we covered your prayers. She's got a thing going on with her artery in her neck. So if y'all would please lift Lisa up, you praying guys out there, and also Papa Alpha Charlie or Alpha Papa Charlie. I can't remember how you say his name, but also be in prayer for him too, because he's G23 told us in the side chat he's in the hospital with a bad case of COVID. So I'm going to bow out and let Scotsman get back on here, and I'll be watching. So
All right.
All the
All
best.
right, Jamie.
All the best
All the best to your wife.
thanks,
Jamie,
guys.
be
Appreciate
going
it.
for
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll definitely be praying for his wife there.
Also, keep Tim Boyer in your prayers too. For those of you that didn't know, Tim had a major stroke, so he's in the hospital right now recovering. He's been out for over a month. We didn't even know until yesterday, I think it was. He posted the video.
What is it? The season for strokes?
Seems like it. Yeah, I guess he had a pretty major stroke, man. He's been out for a little bit, so he just updated everyone yesterday.
So, Richard, tell us about all the COVID bullshit in the UK. What's going on over there?
Well, it's pretty calm at the moment. I mean, they're bringing in a new law from next week for the travellers. Anyone coming in or going out has got to, anyone going out has got to have the booster. So you end up with 3 jabs, and then anyone coming in has got to test, obviously negative, if you're going to enter the States.
Oh, wait a minute. So not only they have to be vaccinated with 2 shots, they need to have a booster as well?
Yeah. If I'm going to leave, because I was planning on coming over to you to your country pretty soon, but I've had to cancel that because I'm not entitled to my booster yet. Because I had my last vaccine in July, and you've got to wait like 6 months before you can have the booster. But they're now shortening that because of this new variant. They're saying that some people, if you're at risk, you can get it a bit early. But I had a guy at work the other day. He turned up 6 months after his last shot, and they said, "Hey," they looked at, because you got a card with it all stamped, the date you had it, and they said, "Oh, you're 1 day early. You can't have it until tomorrow." It's like,
You literally are carrying around like a stamped card.
yeah, I got a card
that says when you
it's got
get your shots, and
yeah, like when I had the first one, it's got the batch number of the shot and then the date you got it, just to let the doctor know if you get something go wrong. Because a lot of people here are saying, "Oh yeah, I had the vaccine," then they're getting ill and going in the hospital, and they're saying, "Well, this doesn't make sense," and then it turns out, "Oh yeah, you lied to us about having the vaccine," because they're trying to track down, obviously, what if it was a bad batch. You see, thinking that they've had the vaccine. But like I say, there's people getting sick, and they're just basically they're lying to get into venues and stuff.
Well, people are getting sick because it's not a fucking vaccine. It's a COVID shot. That's all it is. So they got to start calling it what it is.
Yeah. Well, they need to be honest of where this shit's come from. That's what annoys me about it. I mean, obviously they know more, because I've got that establishment just up the road from me that does all the bio research, Porton Down, and that they're already studying that new variant up there within a couple of days of discovering it. Because they rush stuff over there real quick. That's all the bio research and everything.
Didn't the Brits
Porton Down?
Didn't the Brits at one point in time help us fight a guy who was big on "show me your papers"?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
The papers, Peter.
I've seen too many people have bad reactions right after the second shot.
Yeah.
And now my dad's one of them. Right after the second shot, all of a sudden just start losing weight. And it hasn't changed his diet whatsoever. My second cousin, her stepmom, and her stepmom's sister, right after they did it, they started losing weight. I mean, these were fat women, and now they're just stick figures. Have you seen much of that?
Alan, we need to get a shot.
Yeah, that sounds like a serving suggestion for me.
Well, I got mine because what it was, we were told in the UK, as soon as you're vaccinated, you're going to be able to fly out of the UK again. Like America the government was going to open up to people from the UK as long as you've had your vaccine, and like Biden was just messing us around with what date that was going to be and everything else. That's the main reason I got mine, because I'm waiting to come back and visit like other gun people and everything again. You know, I mean, I've got a bit of shopping here to deliver, and I've got stuff that I want to pick up. You know.
Well, go down to Mexico. The UN will give you a check for $800. Come across the border. You don't have to get the vaccination, and Biden will give you more money.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with all these rubber boat people we got coming over from France. I mean, none of them are vaccinated, and yet they're allowed to come straight in. But if you fly in from the States or anywhere from next week, you've got to have it, you know. So all the rubber boat people can just come over and they get fed and housed, and they don't have a vaccine. Yeah, we got the same problem. The channel isn't wide enough.
So Matt Sexy has a question. He thought the UK citizens ain't allowed to own guns like in Australia. My understanding is you guys can't have guns. It's just a highly regulated and restricted what you can have.
You have to pass a background check, and we only do one background check for everything. And then when you just get a normal license, you can own up to 5 at your home, and then if you alarm your house, you can own up to whatever you want. Then, as long as you've got your house alarmed, you can have I know people here that have got 200-300 guns. And then it depends on what part of the UK you live in, because it's like where I am, handguns are banned in like England, Scotland, and Wales. But outside of that, handguns are okay. And then like semi-automatic rifles, like what you have, like AR-15s, we only have like bolt action or like 22 or shotgun caliber in semi-auto. But if you go to Jersey, which is an island in between France and the UK, they still got all their semi-automatic rifles. So a lot of the stuff that you can't get there anymore, like FNs and FNCs and all the rest of it, they got all of those because they've never banned any of that lot. And
they still have full auto?
Yeah, some people over there still have like Thompsons and everything from the Second World War. Because a friend of mine went over there, in 2019, before all this Corona nonsense, and he was shooting like fully automatic Thompsons and everything. But they wouldn't let him take any video that he could publish on YouTube because they don't want to like publicize that they've still got all this stuff. You know, there's not a lot of people in Jersey with like YouTube channels. He could take some pictures, but then he had to promise that he wouldn't post them on Facebook or anywhere like that because they don't want to like get the anti lot over there, like trying to ban everything. You know, because they've seen what's happened to the rest of the UK. Where it's all banned, like where I live, where handguns are banned, you've got more people being shot with handguns in the UK now than ever before. You know?
But you also have there's like at least I watched a documentary and there was you're not allowed to have handguns, but the handguns are specified with the X amount inches of barrel. So I saw this handguns like with the 12-inch barrel or whatever.
Yeah,
and
that's
also
it.
Stipulations for 22.
Yeah, well, 22. You can have a 22 semi-automatic rifle or a bolt action, whatever. But there's no 22 handguns either. The only handguns we've got, like where I live, are like black powder, single action. Don't tell Alec Baldwin because we don't want to come over there. But yeah, we got single action revolvers, basically black powder. Like Ruger Old Army's very popular over here. But unfortunately, Ruger have stopped making those. And then you've got other copies, like by Euro Arms, like the Rogers and Spencer copy.
And you also have a knife bands. You can't have you can have a knife that locks, right, or some crap like that.
Yeah, you can have a lock knife depending on how long the blade is. But you can't have like flick knives and stuff. Assisted opening's not too bad, but you can't have a flick knife.
What's a flip knife?
Well,
bad.
You've still got them over there in places.
Essentially, what you have right there, Bald.
That's a flip knife.
Yeah, if it's like assisted opening, it's all right. If it's got the little tab on it, which assist open, but it's like on the actual handle, it's got a button and the knife
I got you, like a stiletto. I got you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like one of those. That they would be banned. But it also depends on. I mean, I carry a knife every day for work, and I never get a problem with the police when I've been stopped. The only thing they don't like is if it's in the front of my car. If it's in the back of the car, it's not too bad.
I got a buddy
Mine's
that
in the
lives.
pocket.
Go ahead, Matt.
I got a buddy that lives in Grimsby that got a fine or a ticket or whatever for just a manual open razor blade knife like you would use for work. He's a carpenter of
Yeah.
sorts.
Yeah, so he should have been all right with that then. But
he
it
got
also depends on. It also depends. Say if you go into a nightclub or a pub or something, and then you're going to get stopped by the police, they're going to have a problem because you've got it in that location. It's like the same as if an electrician went into a nightclub with a screwdriver. It wouldn't be no good him saying, "Oh well, if the lights go wrong, I can mend them." Yeah, but you're not the official electrician, so you can't just carry a screwdriver around with you in your pocket just because you feel like it. Same with knife laws. If I go into a nightclub or a pub with any of my knives, and then the police come in there and they find me with them, I'm in trouble. But if I'm just to and from work or whatever, then they can't do anything. They've never done anything. I mean, I've walked down the street before with a chainsaw, and I've been stopped by the police, and they said, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh my God! Suddenly, I do not feel so bad living in New York.
The guy that was he offered to give me a lift to go and pick this new chainsaw up. Well, when we got back, he went to the pub and had a drink. So then he couldn't take me home because he'd be drink driving. So I said, "Oh, you wanker!" So I walked home 5 miles, and because I tried to get on the bus and he wouldn't let me on the bus, you see. And so I said, "Right, fuck it, I'll walk home." Well, I had this thing over my shoulder, and I got stopped by the police just near the police station as one of the cars was going back from their shift. And they went round the roundabout and come back, and then they stopped and they said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I said, explained to them, and I had all the paperwork showing, "Look, I've just bought this thing. Here's a receipt in it." And they said, "Okay, no problem," and off you go. But if I'd been like all aggressive with them, then yeah, I'd have had a problem, But,
well, my buddy was
Mother of God, and I thought fucking New York's bad.
Yeah. But it all when you get stopped, it all depends on your attitude. Of how you're going to be. If you're going to start all getting aggressive with them, then they're going to think you are a problem.
Well, yeah, it works like that here in the States too.
Yeah.
If you get stopped for any reason at all, and you're a royal prick, they're gonna harass you. If you're giving them crap, they're gonna give it back to you tenfold. But if you're respectful and you just realize they're just doing a job.
I mean,
there's a certain amount of civility that I will take with law enforcement if I get stopped. There's a line, but there's a certain amount of civilness that I give to anybody walking down the street next to me too.
But it's like a few years ago. I mean, I had a few points on my license, and I got stopped by the police for speeding. And I'm sat in his car, and he looks me up on his computer, and I got no previous or anything. And he said, if I give you 3 points now for speeding, he said, you're going to lose your license. He said, I don't want to be the policeman that takes away your license. So I'll let you go. But if I catch you here next week, there's like a radar trap, I will take away your license. So that was a bit of a wake up. And then after that, I slowed down a bit, And then and the other points, they go out of date after a while. So now my license is completely clean. So I've met good and bad police everywhere. I haven't met any particularly bad ones in the States yet. Ones I've spoken to, but the ones you meet at the NRA shows I've all been to, they've been all right. Even the ones that are on duty at the NRA show, you can have a laugh with them and everything. So yeah, there's good and bad police everywhere. I mean, like we've had 2 policemen kill 2 women here. One was kidnapped and raped in London, and the other one was killed just down the road from me in a town called Ferndown. She was strangled in the car park by another policeman. Obviously, they're locked up now. But it gives a bad name for the good police, you know.
Yeah. Well, we're almost about halfway, Alan. You want to run through the side chat?
I'm reading some of the side chat and it's just absolutely hilarious. We might as well here. We got Fuzz Fork 8, the great Fuzz Fork 8 out there. G23 still hanging with us. Kingpin is still out there. He jumped out. But he's hanging with us. Kyle Lusk. I have no idea how to pronounce match. I don't know. Mad Sexy Man of the Night, Mark Thomas, the illustrious Pops Quest, Thor's Axe, Uncle John, Willie Bullet Man. Yeah, it goes on and on. Some of the comments going out there is just hilarious. Yeah, if I was carrying if I was juggling 3 chainsaws in a subway, here in the U.S., somebody would probably throw money at me. That's
And they would probably let you do it at New York City subway.
what do they call it out there? They still call that busking, or is that just like the guys that beat on plastic buckets?
Yeah, if you busking, if you're there.
I think Mr. Rogers is feeling his groove. You see him going over there.
Well, I did ask has he got a Christmas song out this year?
Yeah, I had somebody comment that in my one of my videos not long ago. He's like, everybody's got a nickname, and he like listed off Flannel Daddy and AK Guy and a couple others. He was like, "You're a Tactical Santa."
That's actually pretty good. We gotta get you a T-shirt.
He just needs to get it, Matt. You just need to get the whole Santa outfit and make a video and do a pre-Christmas review.
Yeah, but it's gotta be red and white camel Santa outfit.
I have a story about an old Santa outfit. So when I was prospecting for a motorcycle club, it was right around Christmas time, and we all went out to the bar. And guess what this guy had to do? They found like a tore up, I mean, fucked up. I think they robbed it off of a homeless Santa or something. The thing was shredded. And I had to wear that as we're riding around town, going from bar to bar. We finally got to a bar, and I had to sing karaoke in the Santa outfit at the last bar we went to. And the karaoke was, "Man, I Feel Like a Woman." And Britney Spears, "Hit Me Baby One More Time."
You were a pledge. You were a pledge at that time, weren't you?
Oh, I was prospect. Like I said, I was prospect at the time. Yeah.
I wonder what's scarier, seeing you in a Santa outfit or hearing you singing.
Probably the Santa outfit.
So we're talking about funny names you've been called. Have you ever been called the Fluffy Grantham?
No.
I mean, you got the flannel shirts going on, and Grantham's always talking about flannel shirts and all that. So,
Well, flannel is the best concealment. Flannel shirts are the best concealment. Yep. They're flat color.
He's a flannel sexual.
A flannel section. I have 2 more flannels on the way. Brand new ones.
I don't think I own a flannel shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a couple of those thick ones that I put over in the winter, but that's about it.
Yeah, I've got a couple of shirts, and then I've got a couple of flannel jackets as well.
Is flannel banned in New York?
I don't think it's banned. I mean, they have them at Tractor Supply. It was just never my thing.
You should at least have one.
All right, I'll work on it. I'll go buy one tomorrow.
Yeah, they're
Well, and
they're
like Matt says, it's a very, very true statement because it already breaks up the eye. You have this obscure pattern in the flannel, and so it breaks up the pattern of what's underneath it. It works great for dad bods too.
Yeah, but I got such a chiseled body. I don't need that.
But yeah, it's great for concealment. I tell my students that all the time when we talk about concealment, and I was like, stop wearing grunt style shirts for concealment and start wearing flannel. Flannel is the urban camouflage.
Yeah, to me, grunt shirts just totally scream I'm carrying.
I don't care about that. See, like, I'm not one of these people that are like, don't wear tactical pants, don't wear tactical shirts, don't put gun stickers on your car. I'm just saying, strictly for the purpose of concealment, these grunt style shirts and shirts of that type are more form-fitting shirts. They're just not good for concealment. I don't give a fuck about what screams carrying. You know, I don't care about that at all. I mean, especially around here where everybody's carrying. I mean, it's almost a running joke at this point where, like, if you don't have a gun, you're an oddball.
And flannel is just so much more comfortable.
Yeah, it is. I need to get more. I only have a couple, but you can't go wrong with flannel.
And I wear it.
Hey.
I mean, you guys see me in all my videos, a lot of my videos, probably the majority of my videos, I'm wearing flannel. In the majority of my videos, I'm wearing flannel, and that's including the middle of the summer. Like, it's 110 degrees, 115 degrees, and I'm still wearing a flannel. It even keeps you a little. I mean, I don't wear my heavy flannels, obviously, in the middle of summer, but the lightweight ones, they still help keep you cool.
Well, and it keeps away from that direct sunlight, which just can be treacherous out where you're at.
But I'm just wondering, hey, Scotsman, does the flannel go with your skinny jeans?
I don't have skinny jeans, jackass.
You got skinny jeans.
He doesn't
No,
have
I
skinny
don't,
jeans.
jackass.
He's got skinny legs. So any jeans look like a skinny jeans on him.
I don't have any skinny fucking jeans.
You're a stick boy, you know. Yeah, it's like when the wind's blowing, I got to tie a string on you to keep you from blowing away.
Oh, what the hell ever! Coming
You're
from
like
you,
stick
really?
guy. You're here's his shape. That's it. Just
He's not lying, because when I went to Ohio and I met these two, Scotsman went behind the targets to do something, and I lost him behind one of the sticks.
Oh yeah, when if you look at Scotsman and it turns sideways, he disappears.
yeah. And all of his jeans are skinny, so
You know, coming from you guys, I can expect this, but this is the funny part. You all are screaming, telling me that you turn sideways, we can't see you. The funny part is, in the last 2 years, I've gained like freaking 20 pounds.
at least I lost my gut.
Well, yeah, but that's because you grew your beard back.
These are mutton chops. I don't have a beard.
Okay, 10 pounds for the beard, 10 pounds for the body. But knocking it, gaining weight.
You ain't gaining weight. Come on. You're freaking 7 feet tall. You gain 30 pounds. That's like nothing. That's like freaking putting on extra shirt.
Okay, I know you still can't tell, but I am gaining weight. Thank you, Kingpin.
Well, at 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", what are you?
Nah, I'm 6'3", and he's taller than me. He's 6'5", 6'6".
I'm
Scott.
6'4" on a good day.
Okay, because
In the high heels.
I'm 6 foot and you were a little bit taller than me,
Yeah.
and so but at 6'4", 20 pounds across 6'4", it spreads out pretty thin. Like it does.
It does spread out thin.
20 pounds on 5'9" is 2 pant sizes. 20 pounds on 6'4" means you look like you ate an extra burger, and that's about it.
You know what? And Cranky the other day was calling me short. I'm taller than Cranky. Somebody's running the fart on the computer.
No, my electrician sent me a video. He bought a flamethrower.
You got to have a background check for a gun, but you don't need a background check for a flamethrower.
Nope, because the flamethrower is freaking worthless. It's just a novelty.
Yeah,
Cranky,
but it's
you're
one hell of
coming
a
to
fun
Ohio.
novel.
Yeah, Cranky's coming to Ohio like the week of the 20th or something. And he's telling me to prove it.
Are you guys going to have a hike contest?
Yeah, it
Here,
can be done.
Matt, you're gonna appreciate a nice welding job.
I can't make that out.
No, it's just they welded the thumb on the machine.
Oh, okay. Oh, welded the boom of it. Yeah.
I'm just showing you a welding job.
Yeah. Looks like somebody can't weld more than about 4 inches at a time.
I don't care. They did a good job. That's all I care about. I didn't weld it myself. If I welded myself, it would be like, here, I'll show you. I fixed my chair, right? You see this? This is my welding job.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
Oh, look at those buggers.
But you know what? It's been 6 months and it still holds.
Hold on,
That's
hold
what we
on.
call.
Oh,
That's what
bring
we
that
call
up
bird
again.
shit. in the
Hold it
UK.
up again.
Bring that up again.
I just wonder, has he sat in it?
Like, look at that.
That's
It
what we
looks
call
like a
bird
tumor.
shit in the UK.
Well, in my defense, this is a really, really thin wall freaking tubing. So,
Oh God, here we go.
and I'm a lot better carpenter than I'm a steel guy. So,
I hope
Well, I would certainly hope so.
I'll let Matt take this one since I can tell he's doing the same thing. I'm going like, oh my God, here we go.
if we could all remove our hats and have a moment of silence for that chair.
hey, listen, over 6 months still holds my fat ass.
Sure it does.
Well, yeah, there's so much extra steel you can hardly pick it up.
I say
No, I picked it up easy. Actually, no, I'm so strong. Never mind.
you pile enough crap on top of each other, it's bound to lock together.
Wow. So, for those of you out there, if you're ever wondering if you're near Bald and curious, do not have him do any welding for you ever.
No, I do not offer welding services whatsoever. So, yes,
He
don't
can dig a
bother.
hole. He can build a house. Just don't ask him to take care of any of the plumbing.
Why? Whoa. We don't use welding in the plumbing.
I
This is
hope not.
This is 21st century. I can build an entire house without a torch.
Oh, you're using PVC?
Yeah, it's all PEX.
PEX is the way to go.
Yeah, there's no brazing involved there.
You got less connections. Stuff gives in. If it freezes, it doesn't crack as easy. 100% better job. You don't have to sweat anything. Literally, the last house that I built, I think there was one sweat connection, and there was in a tub and shower body. I sweated the elbow for the top fill. That was it. Everything else was specs, crimp on, done.
It's better in concrete as well if the pipes are under the concrete. Because I've had a couple of pipes go here where the copper, they should have covered it up and they didn't bother. And over
Yeah,
time,
for like radiant heat and stuff. Yep.
yeah, the copper, it gets corroded by the concrete, and then you end up with pinhole leaks in your floor. We've had to dig up the floor in a couple of places and get it repaired.
No, it's 100%. I bought a power tool for that. I'm not using copper unless I absolutely have to. Forget about it.
Yeah, it's sort of like Matt using brass. It just doesn't happen unless he absolutely has to.
I use brass all the time.
No, he's talking about the AR ammo.
Oh,
Yeah. RTT's too cheap to buy brass ammo.
absolutely. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I just got another 1,000 rounds of steel case in this 2 days ago from Firearms Depot.
How much that was?
It was 28 cents a round.
That's not bad, actually.
Not for right now. It's not.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, the lowest I ever saw a steel case was about what, $170,000 or something like that.
2019, December 2019 was the last case of ammo I bought pre-pandemic, and it was 11 cents a round.
Oh, that was a steal.
Yeah. The average was 15 cents a round. And it was 15 cents a round for a number of years.
Okay, we need to stop talking about the plumbing because the Torzak says that seems like you can't go wrong with a shotgun. He was trying to ask the panel, start a conversation about it. That's actually a pretty good conversation piece. So I don't know if you guys watched the Military Arms channel. He actually did a video on a home defense firearm, and he did like a whole thing: shotguns, a pistol, and what he uses and whatnot. So let's go, Alan. Let's start with you. Your thoughts?
Well, me, the first thing that I'm grabbing is usually that. It just happened to be put on the stand this evening, but that is the closest thing if I'm laying in bed. Now, if I got to fall back for some reason, all the way in the back is my Remington 870. So it's shotgun season. I'm not reaching for any of my pistols. I don't have to worry about over penetration. I don't have neighbors. If this thing goes through walls, I'm not going to hurt anybody that I'm not intending to.
Don't you live above the bar?
I do.
So you're not worried about over penetration?
No, because I'm not shooting through my floor.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah, no, where he's at, literally, he doesn't really have to worry about that.
What about you, Scotsman?
Me, I've got my shotgun sitting beside me and my AR sitting beside me. Generally, those two are always loaded and ready to rock and roll. If I'm doing stuff throughout the day, I'll have my pistol on me. If I'm not doing anything and I'm just sitting in my room, whatever, then that's what I have with me, my shotgun. My 870 Wingmaster, which is from the 80s, and then the C-Max rifle.
All right. What about Deer Guy? That's you, Daniel.
Oh, dear guy. I thought you said beard guy. I'm going. I got my 9mm right beside my bed and on one side, and I got my 300 Blackout on the other side. My wife has her 9mm, and first of all, these people got to get by 3 dogs, and I live out here in the sticks, so we're not worried about over penetration. We just want to make sure we don't hit each other when we got them into crossfire.
Okay. What about you, Richard? Which knife you grabbing?
Which knife? I've got one right here somewhere. I can pick it up. Oh no, I know where it is. I've got a Spitfire one. See that? Hang on. Let me go back to it.
How about the baseball bat?
Oh yeah, I've got a little one. I've got a little baseball bat from the Slugger Museum. That works quite well. Little baby baseball bat. It does. You can like jab them or whack them. Because if you're in the hallway or something, you don't want a full size baseball bat, do you? Yeah, but that little baby one I got. Hang on a minute. I'll just go and get it. Little baby slugger. That one actually came from the Slugger Museum.
There you
This
go.
little baby one, it works well. You give someone a good whack with that, they, break their nose, knock out a couple of teeth, or whatever.
Oh,
Give them a
drill
black eye.
a hole in the top of it and put some lead in there, and then recap it with the wood.
Yeah, I think that would probably didn't work well for him in the court of law in UK. So
Then I've
yeah,
got
don't do that.
Oh, what, a fully
got-
tactical Louisville Slugger baby bat?
No, one of those baby sluggers we used to use as tire thumpers for the lorries. We'd use them as tire thumpers, and yeah, I mean it'd be when you can't use a firearm or something in your home. Yeah, that's going to be pretty good because you're in a hallway. You're not going to be able to swing a full size bat.
Because this is a genuine, proper, maple or ash bat. It's just like a little mini one. They get
That would certainly give somebody a solid crack.
Yeah. They give you. There's loads of people. When I got there were loads of people going in the shop and buying them. And then when you do the tour around the factory, they give you. There's a whole crate of them there, and they hand one out to everybody that's on the tour. So all these people that have been in the shop and bought like 3 or 4 of them, then get another one. It was quite funny, It's, but yeah, that was a good factory to go around. That was Louisville NRA show when I was there, because I had a couple of days. I've been to that city before, so I had a couple of days extra and went around the factory.
So let's hear from the pro. Come on, Matt.
I will not answer this question because the last time I talked about shotguns on here, there was a mutiny in the chat room and everybody lost their fucking minds.
Oh no. That's not allowed. Speak your mind. I don't care what fucking shit happens afterwards. Speak your mind.
We are here for the side chat.
We'll protect you. Don't worry.
I grab a pistol. I have a pistol next to my bed. I just find it to be just fine, and shotguns are for birds and breaching. That's it.
Well, I'm right there with you. I don't have a pistol next to my bed because I don't feel the need. I mean, if you feel the need to sleep with a pistol next to your bed, that's just my philosophy. You should move. That's one, but it's close. It's close, and then there's a few more in strategic locations. But I do have a shotgun in the closet as well, and that's more like my philosophy is I'm not the one going to investigate the bump in the night. That's not me. Especially now, my son's in the college, so all of us are upstairs. My daughter's room is right next to my master bedroom. So if something happens, I would just kind of hang out at the end of the hallway. When my son is home, that's a different story because his bedroom's downstairs. And so then it's kind of a situation where I might actually go and do something, but at that point I don't want to leave the wife without anything. So that's when the shotgun comes in because she just refuses to train, practice, and all that. So it's just so much easier to have that. But that's just my philosophy. But I definitely prefer a handgun like in a CQB kind of thing because I did a little bit of the hand-to-hand thing, so I'm not complete moron. I know little martial arts and whatnot. So my idea is that at least you still have one free hand to do whatever with the attacker or grab his gun or whatever. That's just You know, I doubt that will ever happen. But God forbid it has to. You know, you have an options.
My question is, of everybody's answer, with the exception of the baseball bat and the knife, does everybody have a light on their fucking gun? Because if not, what are you shooting at?
Well, I have a light, but I also have electricity in my house. So if something happens, I turn the lights on first. Unless it's a completely freaking blackout bullshit and there's no electric, I do have a flashlight next. Actually, that's next to my bed. I do have a flashlight, like a mag light kind of thing, and I do have a light on my firearm as well. Actually, both of them.
That is the one thing that haven't put on that I theoretically should. I've got a lot of just ambient light, and am very, very well acquainted with the little tiny place that I live in. Even in the darkest areas, I can see very, very well because I've just got so much ambient light that comes in. But I would be wise to absolutely put a light on that.
All right, so Tom's out there asking a good question. You know, if you can't have this and you can't have that, what would you use? So, if you couldn't get to your firearm, no firearms, period. If you couldn't get to your firearms, what would you use?
Anything within reach or these?
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Scotsman.
Because of the ammo
Bosco.
price, I've got to pull a pin on this and throw that down the hallway.
If fucking guy can't have a gun, he pulls out a grenade.
And this is why Richard is more than welcome on here.
That's one way to clear a room.
Well, that's what I wanted
Matt,
before.
Alan,
Yeah,
and Scotsman have all met Bosco.
But that's what I wanted before. If someone kicks your door in, and if you're upstairs, then you can get a flashbang down the bottom of the stairs to your front door. I mean, as soon as they come through the front door, that'll put them off coming in any further, won't it? You know. But the only flashbangs I've got at the moment are the ones you light, and they take too long to go off. You want something you pull the pin on, throw down the stairs.
Yeah. And this is a perfect point by Razor. You can plan for all you want, but it's not going to go the way you think. And always stop the threat by any means possible. And I've said it many times when I teach people. I explain to them the same thing as well. Don't go with the old adage of the 2 and 1. You keep firing until the threat is done. Period. Do not stop until it's done. Period.
Well, that's pretty much the way the law enforcement does that as well. That's why when you see people commenting on, oh, why did the cop shot him so many times? Because he kept moving.
Now, I do not lock my doors here, whether we're home or not home. They've got to get through. They got to get through 3 dogs, and one of them will put the hurt on you. It's already got one burglar. I came home, my back door was busted in because that was the only door in the house that was locked. And there was blood all over the laundry room. And all my stuff was still there. And my biggest dog was just going doo-doo-doo-doo.
Okay, let's be honest. 2 of your dogs are not going to do anything.
There are distractions. Well, Beagle,
yes,
Maggie's the princess. Oh, no, the little one. Buster, he'll bite you.
Well, I know he's an ankle biter. But in all honesty, they're still not going to do a whole lot. I mean, 10, yes, the one, yes, but overall,
the one will get the job done. Now, yeah, they can put something in and kill the dogs or tranquilize the dogs.
All right, Matt, you were going to say something. Go ahead, Matt.
I don't know what I was going to say.
You were going to say something, and then you were rudely interrupted by Daniel.
What was the conversation?
I was talking
about... If you can't use guns.
No, we were
There's
talking
been-
about ending the threat and firing how many of them in a round you got to
Oh
fire.
no. That's right. Val said something about that's why cops shoot so many shoot people so many times. I would argue that it's not, and I'm not saying it's like this with all cops, but most cops are pussies, and they're just they have zero experience outside of qualifying twice a year behind their gun. And so when they start pulling that trigger, they're scared to death and they don't stop until they snap out of it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I built a house for a lieutenant for NYPD, and even he said, you got 85% of NYPD never gonna get in a shootout in their life. Maybe more than that. So as bad as New York City seems, most of the cops never have to draw their guns. So and they only need to qualify like something like 50 rounds a year or some bullshit numbers, or some ridiculous number. Not to mention they carry Glock 19s with like a freaking 20-pound triggers. I never understood that. I don't know why, but there's a specially designed Glock for NYPD and pretty much any New York State law enforcement, with the exception of the New York State troopers. Because they used to carry a 45 Gap. I think they got away from that because they found out it's a bullshit round. So yeah, you're absolutely right with that as well. But to a couple of law enforcement guys I know I talk to, that's pretty much what they keep putting in their heads and training them. Like when you draw the gun and start shooting, you keep shooting until he stops moving. But at that point, you probably just keep shooting because you're kind of in a shock.
Yeah. I suggest if you guys don't watch the channel, go and check out Reed Hendricks' channel. He does the air marshal qualifying shooting test on his channel. And he did it not too long ago. And it's considered one of the hardest federal police qualifiers out there. And it's a freaking joke.
I've seen a couple of those pop up on my feed lately.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but they popped up on my feed lately.
It's a joke.
Well, I have a good question. Thorzax has got a damn good question. Well, what kind of trainer should you employ, tactical or defensive, to learn situational awareness and applications of those skills?
If your trainer is one or the other, they're no good.
Yeah, you need to find one that's well-rounded in everything. If they're not well-rounded in everything, then there's no point.
Well, you can argue that there's a difference between that, because tactical means more of a being on offense. Defensive being about defending your house, your family, surviving X amount of time until the cops get there.
But they should have a good amount of experience of both. They can't just teach you one thing. They should have a good experience of both. They have to have, to be a good trainer, you have to be, and I was talking with my good friend Landquest Fitness. I was talking to him yesterday. He called me, we spent some time on the phone, but, and I'm sorry guys, I'm again, a little under the weather, but when you're trying to find a good trainer, you want someone that's well-rounded in all of this stuff. It's not just one thing, good in pistol and not good in rifle. You got to be good in all of these things. You have to have a basic understanding of everything you're doing, tactical, defensive, whatever it is. You got to have a decent basis on everything. And you got to also be open to the fact that not everyone's going to learn the same way. And that's where a lot of times you get problems with trainers, because trainers have a way of saying, I'm this one way and this is how you're going to learn, but that's not how it goes. Everyone learns differently.
Well, it's like this. So me and my son took a couple of years of some martial arts thing, and the one thing that always intrigued me was and actually asked the instructor, like, what to do if somebody draws a knife at you, and if you kind of have a little sense of knife fighting, and you see the way the guy holds the knife and the way he behaves. You know if he's legit threat or just a crackhead. So my question was like, what do you do when the guy draws a knife at you? So his first answer, he turns over, he goes, "You run." And it makes sense. If you're by yourself, you know, let's say you don't have a gun, whatever, you run. You know, like because in a knife fight, you're gonna get cut. I don't care how good you are, you're gonna get cut. You know, so you know, if you're looking for a trainer that's gonna kind of analyze where you live and what your house is like and your neighborhood and your family situation and whatnot, so you're kind of looking for somebody really trying to teach you or get through like a actual home invasion, like a worst case scenario that can happen. You know, you're not looking to invade your neighbors and take over the street or no some drug gang or something. So you really don't need to know all that. You're probably better off being good at that defensive scenario instead of being all tactical. I can do this, do that, somersault, shoot, and whatnot. You know.
See, and Razor said it out there too. The whole tactical thing is well overused, and I mean, where do you draw the line with tactical? You know, you could get into all kinds of different things with that, but when it comes down to it, what are we? What are we as the general public trying to do? We're trying to defend ourselves. We're trying to protect ourselves. We're trying to defend ourselves. All we're trying to do. And you never know what the situation is going to be. So again, when you're looking for a good trainer, you want to find someone that's well rounded, but it's open to whatever your situation might be. So, you know, you may have someone who has one arm. You're going to teach them differently. You're going to teach someone with two arms. But unfortunately, there are trainers out there that will try to teach them the same way as someone with two arms. And that's the problem. That's what you run into a lot.
Now, instead of saying tactical, why don't we just say tactics? That way, because I've learned, you know, back in my younger days, you know, I was into the fighting sports. If you have to think of what move you're going to make, you've already lost because it should be automatic when you see the situation. So if you practice tactics on how to handle that situation.
That's
Daniel,
sort of
I'm gonna stop you right there. Midget wrestling is not a fighting sport.
that's sort of where because I don't know who it was that asked that out there. You know, defensive or tactical. What's a person's definition of a tactical trainer? You know, I mean, so is it employing tactics during training? You know, teaching certain tactics, or is it body armor, helmet, and that's how that's how the class is going to go. Um, you know, full tactical gear. I guess tactical training, I think, is an umbrella term that can encompass a lot of different things. Yeah, so I don't know if there's a really a right way. I mean, outside of a well-rounded trainer, a well-rounded
And
instructor, I
and
don't know if there's.
GGW Reloading put his comment up there. He actually got most sane comment out there. If you want to be prepared for something, shoot some action sport. Shoot moving, standing, squatting around barricades, because that I hate to say it, but no, that's like the best way you get your adrenaline going and you're thinking on your feet and things change and whatnot. People discredit it a lot, but that's some good training.
And I've shot a couple IDPA matches, and that is geared towards defensive shooting straight out. I mean, you get penalized if you use the wrong tactics.
So I'm glad
The
you
buzzer
brought that
goes
one up.
off.
I'm glad you brought that one up. If you get training, how much should you practice and what kind of practice should you do? You should get training. Because if you don't learn the proper things, then you're just going to continue practicing the wrong, improper, or otherwise less efficient way of doing things.
Yeah, it's important to find a decent trainer, and that can always be a tough thing to find. But when you
No,
find
no,
someone,
it's not. It's not. If you're towards the West Coast, somewhere around Arizona, there's a guy right over there that you just call.
No. You go online and on YouTube and you look for a Yankee Marshall. It's got all the training you need to know. That guy's a self-proclaimed internet gun expert. He knows all the tactics, all the guns. He tells you buy a 44 Magnum revolver because that's the best gun there is. You listen to him.
Yep. You can learn how to do some things from YouTube, but you can also learn how to do things wrong from YouTube. So just saying.
The problem from learning from YouTube is not that you're not learning what you should do. Like you can watch a video on proper pistol techniques, right? You can watch a video on proper pistol techniques and think you're doing it the way they're doing it. You're sure you're doing it the way they're doing it. You have it in your head.
The problem comes into play is that you don't have someone watching you to correct you when you're doing it wrong.
That you're pretty sure, even in person, if you've ever taught a person ever anything, forget about guns. If you've ever taught a person anything ever, you have run into the guy doing something completely wrong, and you're going, no, that's not what I said. And they're like, no, this is exactly how you said it. Like, no, that's not at all. It's because what their brain registered you saying and what they think their body is doing is two different things.
Absolutely.
You need.
I'm just saying, I learned all my gun skills on YouTube.
And I was just gonna throw that up there. So, in martial arts, we use mirrors constantly, and the mirrors are there so that people can try and watch and see what they're doing. So when we try to explain to them they're doing something wrong or not exactly what we told them to do, that they can see it for themselves. Do they always see it? No. Why? Because their mind is focused on thinking that they're doing it right when they're not doing it right.
Yep. I completely agree here, Idaho Rogers. If you're paying attention to your situation, you can more than likely avoid the situation to begin with.
And situational awareness is probably one of the biggest things that people do not have overall. Yeah, they may practice all the time with their gun and this, that, the other, but situational awareness, they do not pay attention whatsoever.
There, to answer Crankies, that's what I have this for. I video myself shooting, and sometimes I paste it on YouTube, and I've got the professional amateur RTT Matt there, the Scotsman, and many and a plethora more of telling. Oh, that's right, Matt. You don't watch my videos, and a plethora of people telling me, "Hey, you're doing this wrong and doing that wrong," and I don't mouth off to them. I'll go back. I look, and not only I look at my own videos when I do this stuff, but when other people say, "Hey, you're doing this wrong," I'll take a look at the video and see if that is a fact. And Yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's right. They did it wrong. I did it wrong.
99% of the time, I don't give unsolicited advice. 99.9% of the time, I will not give unsolicited advice. If you come to me and ask advice, I'll spend the entire day with you. I don't care. But 99.9% of the time, I do not give unsolicited advice. It's a waste of my fucking time. It's a waste of your time, and I don't feel like dealing with all the other assholes in not your comment section, but anybody else's comment section that wants to tell me, well, let him do it his way. Well, that just tells me you don't fucking shoot. Shut up.
Well, you got my email address, so if you ever see
Yeah.
me doing something stupid, email me.
No, but Matt's right. You know, a lot of times you'll get that, and there are some people who I know pretty well on here who occasionally make mistakes and things like that, which we all do. But you'll see some people in the comments telling them they're doing a fantastic job and all the rest of it. And then you'll get someone else who says they're doing something wrong. And then you'll see all these other people jump on top of them for saying that. Well, if we're all trying to help each other make each other better, why would you start jumping on someone for saying something that they saw? You know, or vice versa. You know, you got people praising them. Why would you praise someone for doing something wrong?
Well, they're praising them because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, and that's, you know, I get it. You want to support people, you want to watch their videos and support them, but at the end of the day, if something's not quite right, it's okay to speak up.
There's a distinct difference between, hey, Daniel, or Scotsman, or whoever. Good video, right? Good video, thumbs up, whatever. Good to see you, buddy. That's one comment that could be made to support somebody. And the other comment is, hey, good job, good shooting. You look good. You look like a professional out there. No, you look like a fucking retard out there. Stop it. You know?
No one's ever said I look like a professional.
No, I'm just
No,
saying.
and that's it though.
You know,
you gotta be brutally honest. You know, there's no point in lying to someone. You're only going to make them think they're doing something right when they're not and cause more issues.
Say I get, okay, say Razor says, hey, you're doing this, do this instead in an open comment. I'll go back, I'll look at the video along with his comment so I can see exactly what he's talking about, what I'm doing. That is positive input. And I would rather have somebody tell me that than tell me I'm looking like John Wick.
See, in Idaho, I'm gonna disagree with that, and here's why. Because if you actually have a decent trainer, they're not gonna give you a false sense of security. They're gonna help you and guide you and walk you through the things you need to know. Now, if you give yourself a false sense of security because you think you're doing a lot better than you actually are, that's a whole different fucking ball game.
Yeah, just because I've taken these classes doesn't mean that I've incorporated all that information, I've utilized all that information, and it's now ingrained in me to be doing it this proper way.
Yeah, it's no different than somebody taking a beginner's martial arts class, walking away from it and thinking they're a badass now. Has nothing to do with the efficiency of or effectiveness of training. Training by a professional is good or bad, because training by a professional is always good. I know it's a highly kept secret, but getting trained by a professional versus a non-professional is always better. But if you let it go to your head, whoever the person may be, if you let it go to your head, that's a reflection on you, not people getting professional training.
All right, so you mentioned martial arts. Here's a prime example. So these places are renowned. Some of you might get pissed off at this comment, but most of them are actually Taekwondo places. You'll walk in there and they'll say, "I make you a black belt in a year,"
Oh yeah.
and 9 times out of 10, it's a Taekwondo place. Get pissed at me if you want. I don't care. It's true. I know it's true. I've spent many years in the martial arts. I know it. It's true, and I hate that. That's not a professional. That's not a teacher. That's not a trainer. That's someone that just wants you to spend money, throw money at them to get a belt. That's all that is. The actual teacher is going to teach you something and train you something and make you grow as a person and get you to understand, is not going to have you a black belt in a year. A black belt takes years and years and years of training, because a black belt is simply a white belt who understands all the aspects of being a white belt and breaks it down and utilizes that. That's all that is.
So Razor brings up a pretty good thing right here. The best shooting training he's ever had in 23 years was from someone that has never served in the military or Leo. I find that to be so. I think it's incredibly. I don't know the word I'm looking for. I don't think that just because you're military or law enforcement means A, you know anything, or B, you're any good at teaching it. Because both can be untrue. Just because you were military doesn't mean you know anything. And Razor will, I'm sure Razor will agree with this. There are plenty of people, even people that have seen combat, that A, aren't well rounded, and B, couldn't teach a dog to sit. So I find it to be incredibly hurtful that people think that the only trainers you should have or ever get training from are people that have X background, like that were law enforcement or military.
Yep.
Scotsman, the last time you were out here and the stuff I've gone through doing the mechanics of my draw from concealment and all that, what is the one thing I did not have right and you pointed it out to me for my presentation?
Your brain.
Basically, the way you were drawing, you were swinging it again. You had your elbow out and you were
The
swinging.
elbow. The elbow.
But what did we do? What did we do? We broke it down. And this is one thing, and there'll be a video coming in soon about how to break stuff down. But like with Daniel, we broke it down. So I went with Daniel. I said, "Hey, I want you to do this on this command, this command, this command, this command, this command." And broke it down to where he understands what he's doing and sees what he's doing, and then can correct it. So long as he takes his time and pays attention to it and does it slowly over and over and over, he'll get it down.
I'm going to go back to Matt when he said he never gives unsolicited advice. Now, I'm actually other way around. A couple of small clubs I shoot at. We shoot USPSA. Let's say last match of the year. This is back in November, and we had a squad with a couple of older gentlemen. I mean, in their 60s. You can tell they just picked up the competition not that long ago, and most of them are in the same scenario. The eyesight's going, so they switch to dot. Now, when you see the guy that the way he holds the gun and all that is fine, but he starts shooting a dot gun and he squints one eye, that's a big no-no. So he finished shooting, you walk over to him and you say, "This is what you're doing wrong." I'm no Max Michel, I'm a B class, borderline A class carry optic shooter, but you can spot certain things right away if you're doing it for a while. So you walk over to them and say, "Look, you know what? If you try this, try that. Next time you go shoot, try to keep your both eyes open. Do this, do that. Before you go home, grab one of the old targets, practice this at home." And I never had once guy turn over like being an asshole, like I know more than you, because actually, well, that's a different story. But most of these guys are thankful because it's a sport. They're looking for the support. They're looking, and it's the same way when I go shoot, especially if I shoot like a bigger matches. I try to squad with the better shooters. I try to squad with masters. Hell, if I can get like a pro shooters, I definitely will because you can pick their brain and same thing happens with them. Like when I train with Max Michel or JJ Rocaza, they. I mean, I was shooting with a JJ. I had my gun like this, and JJ was standing right here, almost looking at the barrel of my gun, and he was watching my trigger pull and telling me what I'm doing wrong and whatnot. So, a guy like that, you kind of take it to the heart whatever he tells you. So
So I would say that my comment about unsolicited advice was probably more or less directed towards YouTube, in which was I think what we were mostly talking about. I don't shoot with people unless I'm either training them or training with them. So in both of those cases, in both those cases, I'm in a position to where I'm either taking advice or giving advice. But when it comes to social media and being online, no, I don't give unsolicited advice.
Do you do that because you just don't like people and you're antisocial?
Partly.
You just don't shoot with anybody just for entertaining?
Oh, I thought you meant
Unless
the
you're
YouTube part.
training with them.
I thought you meant the YouTube part. Because I don't comment on many videos for that reason. No, I don't shoot with people because I have a full-time, almost 50-hour-a-week job. I have a citizen militia group I run. I have my own training school that I run. I also have a YouTube channel that I run. So, and then I have a house with a girlfriend and a dog and other animals. So at some point in time, I have to find time in there to go shoot with complete strangers. I just don't have that time.
In other words, yes, he's antisocial, and that's okay. So am I.
And I'm very much, if I don't know you, I probably don't like you and don't want to know you.
Well, Matt, I don't know you, but I like you.
I don't like you.
And I can care less.
No, seriously though. I mean, I just, and people that I know that know me well, like in person, they say it to me all the time. You're a pretty jaded person. I am. I don't like many people.
Okay.
Here's the thing. If you're out there and you're calling yourself a professional, and this is not directed at you, Bald, because I know you got professional amateur, but if you're out there and literally you're calling yourself a professional and this, that, the other, and flaunting this and flaunting that, I've done this, I've done that, all this other bullshit, you've got yourself in a mindset that is not that open. And if you're going to be someone who's teaching someone, training someone, you got to be open all the time to yourself and to that person you're teaching or that group you're teaching. So
just the name itself, professional amateur, states that.
No, I was gonna address Thor's ex comment, and when I said that when I was gonna give unsolicited advice to somebody, this is back about 3-4 years ago in Long Island. We shot a steel match, knockdown steel, and we were doing pretty good, me and my buddy, right? And now I see this chubby kid, like 18, 19 years old, right? He's like a little chubby, I don't want to say retarded, but looking kind of weird. And he gets to the stand, right? He grabs the gun, and he was left-handed, and the way he held the gun was like awkward, like really weird. And like me and my buddy were about to tell him like kid, you're doing the shit all wrong. Then the timer goes on, and this kid went reload, reload. Like, what the fuck just happened? He literally shot every stage in half the fucking time with it. Okay, this kid won the whole match. He took a first place with the opening gun overall, and a second place with the iron sights. So later we learned that basically he was kind of like a Rain Man of the shooting sports in a local area. Like he wasn't all there, but like really nice kid, But he was like one of those. I don't know diagnosis and whatnot. So, but that's like one of those things. Like you feel like an asshole. You're about to tell the kid like, yeah, you can't do that, and it's like, holy shit, what just happened?
Yeah, that's like that guy with what's he got? Parkinson's or something. I can't remember
You
his
gotta
name.
speak up, Rich.
Yeah, sorry. That guy that's got Parkinson's. He's a professional shooter, but when he shoots, he walks up to the range and he's like shaking. But as soon as he puts the gun on target, bang, 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 and it's all done. I can't remember his name now, but he was at an NRA show once, and you see it, and people thought, oh, he's faking it, and then I saw him in real life, and no, he's not faking it at all. It's just one of those things that as soon as he gets the gun in his hand, he can hit all the targets. But as soon as he puts the gun down, then it goes back to the shaking, But, yeah, so it's surprising who you meet sometimes that you think, oh, they're going to be no good, and they're actually a lot better than what you are.
Well, I can hold my own. I beat Jerry Mitchell once at the match. This is back about 6-7 years ago. We shot at Smith and Wesson facility. It was a bug match, backup gun championship, and I actually beat Jerry Mitchell because he got disqualified. Hey, listen, win's a win.
Hey, okay, he got DQ'd, so you didn't technically beat him.
Hey, I beat him. He got DQ'd. I beat him. That's win's a win. Okay, it's like I tell my wife, I'm a trophy husband. It might be participation trophy, but I'll take it.
Y'all getting too quiet.
I'd like to
just
shoot.
Well, we are about getting to about that time.
Yeah. I'd like to shoot with Jerry one day if I can. I've met the guy a couple of times. But yeah, if I could have a range day with him one day, that would be nice.
If you got deep enough pockets, it can happen.
Yeah, that's the problem. But,
yeah. All right, I guess we're about to end this bitch.
You can keep going if you want. It's up to you, Alan. I don't care, man. I'm not working tonight.
I'm working tomorrow on late shift, so I can go for a bit longer.
Well, I certainly am. My happy rear is up at 3:30 this morning. 3:30 in the morning.
All right. Well, we'll start going through the room. So, Val, what you got, man?
Not a whole lot. It's been a busy week for me. I have a couple of videos that I have to edit that I did a while ago and put out there just to keep the people happy. Like I said, I lost the range, so it's so much harder. Plus, I got so much more going on, and I'm trying to put more videos on my Boulder Builder channel where I got nothing to do with the guns, more with the building and helping people out. So, you guys check me out over there.
What's the name of that channel?
Go check that channel out for sure. It's good.
What's the name of that channel, Val?
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's good. Lots of good tips out there. Matt, what you got going on, man?
I've pretty much recorded all the videos I can for the rest of the year. I have, I think, 10 or 12 videos on deck right now to publish the rest of the year. 3 giveaways to do: body armor, an OTF knife, and night vision. Thinking about changing some things up on the channel after the first of the year. One of them is actually, speaking of training, is to not do training videos on my channel anymore, only on Patreon. And I guess that's about it.
Appreciate you coming on, man. Always good to have you. Daniel?
Well, my actually next planned video is just I'm going to put together the whole deer season and edit it all in. Show I didn't get any film of me shooting when I shot the doe, but I got a little bit here with my wife tonight, and I got everything but the kill shot because I dropped the camera. So, but I'm going to put this stuff together, and when the season's over, I'll be posting that. But I'm really not planning on making videos. If I make one, it'll be out there. I usually just put something out once a week, but if I don't have nothing, that's whatever. But hey, thank you for putting me on here tonight, and guys, it's nice spending some time. And Rich, hey, nice meeting you, man. Hi.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been nice that you let me jump in and have a chat with you all. As face to face as we can be at the moment.
Yep, and you're more than welcome anytime, Richard. With that, you got anything you want to say?
No, just thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody in the chat. There's a few people I know out there, like Tom and others. I've known Tom for a long time.
And long live the Queen.
So, yeah, well, for another maybe a few months. She might have a few more months than I don't know.
All right, well, good having you, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you to everyone out there. We had a pretty good chat, and appreciate all the comments for sure. Alan, what you got, man? Take us out.
I actually have a video in the can that I was trying to edit, and then something happened with my editing software. It wasn't going to be, it was going to be probably the worst training video anybody has ever seen, because I was making a complete spoof and ass of myself. It was literally for my own entertainment, and unfortunately all the data got corrupted, so you're not going to see a video from me this week, because all that's a lie and I didn't film anything anyway. Nevertheless, always got to remember to keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber.